So today I am here with my first 5-minute lesson and it is all about production planning. I have taken up this topic from the subject production management, which is there in BBA 4th semester. Um, so what is production planning? You must be knowing the terminology of production, right? Production is the entire process of generating the idea of a product and then following up different steps and different processes in order to bring out the final product and make it available for the customers. So this happens in any product based company in India or anywhere. So what is planning? Planning means you will have to make a perfect forecast of the future, and while you are making the forecast, you have to keep in your mind that there are certain constraints of your company related to cost, related to facility, related to your location, related to the manpower, related to the operation process. In everything there has to be certain constraints, and where you are planning the production, you have to keep those constraints in mind strictly. And when you do that, and then you prepare a perfect forecast for the production of your product in the keeping in mind the future scenario, then that entire process is called the production planning. Now there are certain steps of it. Okay, those four steps you have to those four steps you have to remember and memorize for your future reference, and in case there are examination, you can just make up your points based on those 4 points, elaborating those 4 points, and you will get good marks for that. Okay, so I'll take you to the those 4 points which I have prepared in a sheet of paper for you, so that you can take a screenshot and you can read it in the future. Okay, so let us go to the page. These are the 4 steps of production planning. The first one is demand forecast, and the second one is specification of production requirement, third one is setting of production rate, and fourth one is controlling the production. So these are all sequential steps. Okay, one cannot be followed if the last one is not been accomplished. So the first step in the production planning is demand forecast. So what happens in demand forecast? Based on your past performances, and also you can evaluate the performances of the similar type of companies like yours. Suppose you are manufacturing cricket bats, then you have to follow up the performance of the other cricket bat manufacturing company in your location, and then you have to predict the demand. What could be the demand of your product? Obviously you have to keep the competitive force in your mind. So that happens in the demand forecast, because everything will be dependent on the amount of units that you're going to manufacture, and that will be basically and completely dependent on the demand of your product in the market. So this is the first step. Second step is specification of the production requirement. That means here you will have to design the exact location or the exact plant design for your production of the product, so that on time the product can be manufactured and it can reach to the customer at the right time and also at the right place. So that means you have to prepare the production requirement. That means all the cost associated with the production of the product has to be specified in this step. The third step is about setting up the production rate. That means at what rate you are going to manufacture. Now remember, while designing this production rate, you have to keep everything in your mind: the availability of labor, the availability of location, the availability of the natural conditions, the availability of the plans or the facilities in your company. Everything you have to estimate, and it includes also the electricity, the water supply, and everything. Okay, so setting of the production rate is done in the third step. And in the fourth step is the final step. Here the production is control. Control means is nothing. Always remember that when the control term is being used in the management phenomenon, you have to remember that it means matching the estimated one or the matching the standard one that you have set with the actual one. That means whatever you have achieved till now has to be compared with the planned one. So there are two types of controlling production process. One is in the middle of the production process. Here suppose you have done 50% of your work and 50% is left, and in that you have to see whether the production unit or the production process is following the planned one or not. And one is at just at the time when the production is going to end. So it will be just at the time when the production will end, so that at that time you have to do the controlling whether you are on track or not. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed it and understood it. If anything is not understandable and if you need elaborated description on the production steps, then you please write it on the comment box. I will send you personally the elaborated description of the entire process of production planning. So thank you.